Soon as I come outside, and and that's a red car right there. They had a red van going that way, and a black car with funny headlights going that way. I didn't realize they work at Joe Patty's in their perps. That's the car with the funny tail light, the funny brake lights. But I came out here because they had somebody that was blasting their music super loud. But as soon as I walk out here, I've just missed it might be them doing all the door slamming and trunk slamming. It's kind of chilly out here again tonight. It's supposed to be colder than last night. But they had a black car that had funny headlights. And oh yeah, earlier it just smelled like weed. So I got the heater on in here because it's cold outside. It's hot, humid, and moist up in here. I can feel it's humid and moist. That might be one of the reasons why my computer went back to not acting right. But so anyway, earlier I went to go get a couple of snacks out the snack machine for the second or third time, and because I'm very low on money and food, so I feel guilty that I got me a few snacks out the snack machine, and I had just cereal and peanut butter, the last of the peanut butter this morning, and the last of the milk from the cereal this morning. And then I had, I found 3 more cans of tuna. And so I had, a can of tuna, and made a tuna salad sandwich out of it. And so yeah, I'm just saying how I'm, survive, or how I spent my day. How I'm surviving in general. And then the online perps try to falsely make it like as if that Candy just has this obsession with food. No, I'm just talking about my day, a daily diary of, what I did, and also, showing y'all my gang stalking. And so I didn't take a nap today, but I had a bad headache, like a migraine, I guess. And then after I ate the sandwich, the headache still didn't go away. But then after I had the small bag of chips and cookies, now the headache is gone. So I'm planning on working on some more writing this evening. And but I wanted to say also that when I went to go get the snacks, they had a little bit gang stalking activity, like, and the black male, the big guy, that he wears a lot of different red clothes and stuff. Him and this female, this white female, it was the black guy and the white female, and I think she had red hair also, and they were both smoking weed. And so the instant I came outside, I accidentally inhaled their weed, and I felt like, well, how can I get this detox out of me? Um, and so, I just quickly went to go and get, a few snacks out the snack machine, and then just came right back in here. And then they had somebody in like a 2011 model Hyundai Sonata that was kind of brown, and that person had tinted windows. And the moment I walked outside, that person drove on the property, and went hanging with them. And so some time later, I came back outside, and they pretty much disappeared. So, so I would like to try to do all I can, trying to get help to stay off the streets. I would hate to have to end up back on the streets. I'm not ready, and I know I'm scared to end up back on the streets. And, somebody told me, don't let the perps make you back homeless again. But I mean, I've heard for homeless people, even if they're not targeted individuals, some people say that, if a homeless person is resourceful, or if they have, some intelligence or knowledge or whatever, that they could make a homeless blog and monetize it. Like a homeless diary blog. Because I remember they had this guy, he had a blog called Doing It Homeless. And he was in LA metro area, and he had a blog, and then how he got out of homelessness was he found a whole bunch of money in a suitcase or something somewhere. It was a whole lot of money. And then just that instant, he was able to end his homelessness. And I think he even went as far as to shut his blog down and start some other kind of business. But, but it's like a targeted individual. They can't monetize. I mean, the perps will make sure that the target can't monetize a blog or a YouTube channel unless you're one of the popular fakes. Only the popular fakes who spread disinformation, those are the ones who are able to have like a monetized YouTube channel, or that's concerning targeted individuals. The fake TI perp, the popular fakes, if they can have ebooks, a blog, or a YouTube channel that's monetized, and then they get a lot of fake positive reviews and giving new age false hopes of solutions to end targeting. And I heard that the real way of ending a real targeted individual, you're in this program for life. If you're a real TI, you're in this program until you die. Or else, if you sell out. And I heard that some people say that the fake TI perps are still being watched too. So they make false promises and take your soul. And then, still being, if you're still being monitored. And then I heard that the handlers keep a close watch on the perps and make sure that they do their perp job correctly. So even though they're making a lot of money, but they're supposedly more enslaved than us uncorrupted TIs. Wow. I don't even know if this is a directed energy kind of headache, because my headache went away for a while and now it's trying to come back. But I mean, it was even before I ate. I didn't eat lunch today. I had two, but a couple of days, like yesterday and the day before, I think the past 2 or 3 days I ate lunch, like all 3 meals. But today I didn't eat all 3 meals. But, me being a homeless TI, I'm just, and struggling and stuff, I'm just showing, how I'm surviving day to day. because they want to make it like, oh, Candy obsessed with food. Well, I'm talking about what I ate today because y'all want to falsely say that Candy's always eating lavish. So, tell me how a bowl of Life cereal and a couple of spoons of peanut butter, tell me how that's eating in luxury. Tell me how that's lavish. So, I'm just doing like a daily documentation of how I'm surviving, because also trying to combat, the smear campaigns, but it seems like it's ineffective or not working. But I guess somebody's listening. So, earlier today, the perps prematurely cut off my videos talking about my disability and stuff. That must have been a threat to them, because they prematurely cut off my video and then try to, get into my phone and prematurely hog up extra space on my phone. And then try to reset the videos so the videos couldn't upload. So, they were messing with me today. So, I keep on forgetting to talk about, the vertigo issues. I consider that, part of being disabled as well. Even though, like, I forget I have vertigo until it happens. The vertigo and the spinning and everything. And I consider vertigo, to be disabling or condition. And I didn't get to mention that, but I mentioned the hypersensitive ears and stuff. And as I said, I'm as far as my feet go, they call that plantar fasciitis. I don't even know if I pronounced that right, plantar fasciitis, because I never heard it audibly spoken. But from written, I pronounce it the best way I could. But the plantar fasciitis is, now that I'm not on psych meds, it doesn't affect me as bad, So they're back to trying to vibrate me again, vibrating my body. And they're vibrating my organs right now. And so today is a day I'm feeling kind of lonely and depressed, but at the same time too scared to talk to anybody, because sometimes people talk weird stuff sometimes. That make me feel uncomfortable. But I wanted to, as I said, the perps, they halted me making any money off my writings and sabotaged that. But they're the ones who's not making sense, because like that obsoletist perp, the perp that calls himself the obsoletist, I still haven't watched the fake videos he had about me, but he also blatantly admitted that he'd been stalking and following me everywhere. And so I guess the gang stalkers get paid to bully the target into conformity. Try to bully and try to coerce you to conform. And they try to make it like as if that, see, there they go again. A targeted individual is like a slave an MK Ultra slave who resists the programming. I think that's when you become targeted. Somebody sold you into the doggone program. See, there they go again with the loud, fake, crusty, loud bass. Idiots. So, it's cold outside. it's spring, and it would be a little too cold for me to be out, for me to have to sleep on the streets. But as I say, people, it's cold-blooded to leave, disabled or not, it's cold-blooded to leave a single female out on the streets to be harassed. And, as I say, I've tried what I could with jobs. And, I've tried what I could with writing and stuff. I only lasted 6 days on TikTok. I thought I could monetize it, but they sabotaged me just that quick. Within 4 days, they sabotaged the gang stalkers sabotaged my TikTok. Within 4 days. So I couldn't monetize it. But then again, it must not be for me anyway. So I try to see about the ads thing on my blog, but I don't know what's going on with that, with the ads, but so far no success. But I started the blog, I think it was New Year's Eve or December 30th. I started the blog December 30th. And it's like, even though I am shocked and surprised that people, even from countries like Bulgaria, a lot of people from Bulgaria look at my blog, and I'm like, well, I felt like, well, wow, people from those countries, different countries and stuff. So it's like I saw like a high amount of traffic from, of course, the USA, the US, and Canada. And you mean to tell me that I get more traffic on my blog from Bulgaria than United Kingdom or Australia or somewhere? Wow. Or even Mexico? But I was shocked to see that. Like, so many, like a lot of my blog traffic, going to like Bulgaria and stuff. Like, Bulgaria is not a country that we think about that we Americans think about every day. But I've met a couple of Bulgarians throughout my life, and people from Hungary, Hungarians also, but it's like, it's April, and I finally, I think I got over 9,000 views to my blog, and almost 10,000 views to my blog. But I guess it seems like the more I write, the more views I get, the more new posts that I publish. But, I write something on my blog almost every day. Not every single day, but almost every day. And, I try to get the word out, try to spread the word and stuff. But nobody has clicked on the donate button to my PayPal on my blog, to donate from my writings. And sometimes I feel discouraged, feeling like as if I'm writing for nothing. And with the blog and the Ko-fi, I was hoping to make money from my writings as a way to, to make a living and survive. Now who's here? You hear that? All day harassment with loud bass music. And here they go. You see the big guy in the light gray shirt? He had on a red shirt. He had on a red shirt earlier. Now he has on a light gray shirt. And they're back to smoking whatever weed or cigarettes, weed. So I had to hurry up and come back inside. But I was trying to see who was that trying to flash. Seemed like they were trying to flash their lights into my window again. But, so it's weird that how your memory operates, that I just stepped outside and I that quick forgot whether or not the white car is out here. Yeah, the white car is here. But that blue truck, I haven't seen that blue truck in a while. But the white car, I just heard the dog barking. You know, the dog. So I don't even know if the blue truck guy got the truck in the shop, or if he moved out, or because he was in the same room, with the dog, and there's a female who stays there. I don't know if that's his mom or what, but I haven't seen him or the truck in like over a week, in a long time. So but I felt like today, I didn't want to crowd up or bombard y'all, YouTube timelines with so many videos, So earlier I meant to do, I think I meant to do 2 different videos, but then one the open talk and the other one, I meant to have everything in one video, but certain things I forgot that I meant to go back and talk about my physical disabilities. And I don't know if chronic sleep deprivation is considered a disability, but you end up not being able to function. So I don't know if sleep deprivation is considered a disability, a chronic sleep deprivation. But I know it's due to this gang stalking, because I already mentioned about, the mental aspect. And I meant to talk about the physical aspect in that video also. And I realized that I ran out of time, got short on time, and I forgot to talk about the physical. But then, so I tried to do another video on that, and then they prematurely cut my video off. So then, because no way in hell would a 2-minute video take up 4 gigabytes of space. That's the perps. The perps did that to try to shut me up. Try to find some way to hog up extra space in my phone on purpose. Because a 2-minute video, even during the daytime, that wouldn't even take up. If it's 2 minutes, it would not take up a whole. It wouldn't even take up 1 gigabyte. Probably not 500 megabytes. So the perps prematurely came into my phone and, trying to shut me up, talking about my disabilities and stuff. I tried to do it all in one video, but they did that. So I apologize if I'm showing up on your timeline so much. And then I dealt with the noise harassment, earlier and stuff like that. So I'm just running my mouth. But my anxiety is very high right now, and I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling scared of having to go back on the streets next week. But as I said, how come it's okay for other people to write for money or make money off of writing, but I'm not allowed to do that? Or they try to make it like it's a form of being greedy for me to, write for money. But that's me. And they want to try to force me to stop trying to make a living the best way I know how. Like they want to force me to stop writing, trying to make me stop writing. And they got skinny people who do food blogs or food YouTube videos with cooking, food reviews, or you know mukbangs or whatever, or if they got their cooking channel or food review channel or food review or cooking blog and show you like cooking instructions, or if they have a cookbook and stuff like that, and nobody's stopping them. But and it's like a perp who would try to put you down and say, take that shit up. Like if I put up a video, trying to be creative with cooking and stuff or making stuff, they'll be like, take that shit down, it looks nasty. But y'all doing stuff like abusing me and putting me down, and you wonder, y'all abuse me and put me down and try to boss and control me, and you wonder why my mental health is not great, because people being abusive. So if that obsoletist perp and other online perps have an issue with me and trying to coercively control my mental health, that person followed me from the Targeted by the Psych World channel, plus that backup channel, and this one. So if you say that my videos are annoying, if any of these online perps say that my videos are annoying, but some of the online perps have been stalking and following and watching my videos from way when I had the first Psych World channel. And so if you are annoyed, you claim to be annoyed by my videos, or say that your life is not interesting or your life is not important, but you sit there and watch everything I do. I mean, all of my activity that y'all want to say that with Candy's life, there's nothing interesting in Candy's life anyway. But then, you got to comment on my every move. You got a problem with it. So, I don't even come, on social media, for a fake interesting life. I already tell y'all, I know I don't have a life. I don't have a life. I need to get one, but I don't have a life. So, excuse me. I mean, for my life to be interesting, do I have to go to the movies or go to clubs or go to the bars and stuff? I mean, throughout my adulthood, yeah, I mean, the last time I went to see the movies, in regular movie theater, I think it probably was in once. It's been years since I gone and seen the movies. Is that somebody? That look like somebody. Look. See that white car pulling off? Yeah, that white car went over to that way, but they try to see how they try to do, and here they go. They smoke. See them over there? He was wearing a red shirt earlier, and they're smoking weed, fake crusty weed. But yeah, I mean, y'all strip us targeted individuals of our livelihood, and then you say, well, their life ain't important anyway. But I mean, it seemed like as if the perps are rubbing their hands together, waiting for us to have a meltdown, or waiting for our impending doom, or waiting for our impending destruction. And then we have nobody to turn. We don't even have target individuals. Don't even have each other to turn to for support, emotional support or help. If some targets are emotionally stronger than others, they'll kick down the emotionally weaker targets instead of being encouraging and embracing, and offering comfort. No, they kick you down even harder when you really don't even have nobody to talk to. And then it seems like they get to a point where they want to try to control or fix your life and start to act like a narcissistic perp. And then they will show you their true colors if you expose them doing you something dirty over the phone. And then, if you take it to YouTube, then they will smear your name like a narc. Then I'm like, wow, so my suspicions are confirmed. I figured in the first place that they were a fake TI perp. And so when I exposed them and then they start acting like a perp, thinking that it's a way to chastise or put me in my place or make me learn a lesson. And then I have my confirmation that, oh, I know whose side you on. So if professed targets even think that they're better than me because they make it like as if, oh, that's not why nobody messes with you and that's why nobody talk to you. Because some of them get narcissistic and controlling and try to dictate my life and be disrespectful when they can be just about young enough to be my child. Young enough to be my offspring. And then, that you think that you can be young enough to be, and that's the way the perps do. That if they're 17 and 18 years old, they don't care, that they're younger than me. And still, young enough to be my child. And still be disrespectful and abusive. But it's really hard. It's really hard suffering through this and being sabotaged. Everything you try to do, and then you get told that you're at fault. Or that they try to make like, oh, stop feeling sorry for yourself and dig yourself out of your situation. Kicking you down even harder. And it's like, as a target, you ought to know how it is trying to get back on your feet. Attempts that I've made to get back on my feet, I've end up back to square one or even worse off. So, as I said, it's really scary, that they find different roadblocks to hinder me from getting a cab driving job. And that's something I could have done, and I could have used their vehicle. I have no way to get my own vehicle to drive for Uber or DoorDash or anything like that. And so they got so many roadblocks to hinder me from, trying to be a cab driver and stuff, or when it comes so easily for anybody else. And then the two biggest cab companies here participate in gang stalking. Yeah, I'm gonna name them. Lucky Cab and even bigger is Z-Trip. I thought Z-Trip would hire any and everybody, whoever wanted a job or whoever wanted to be a cab driver. But no, that guy Tracy Boyd, yeah, he put all kinds of roadblocks. And you a black man, and you don't want to see a black person, But then other cab drivers tell me that, oh yeah, Tracy, he'll help you get back on your feet, and he really want to see you succeed, and this and that, whatever. That he'll help them. But you sitting there, hindering me. I've tried the brand new Aldi that opened up. They shut me down. They refused to hire me. And I already told y'all about Domino's, So, and other different places. And it's like they try to not welcome me here in Pensacola in the first place, and I didn't know where else to go. felt kicked out of my hometown, New Orleans, and so I mean, I've been, throughout all of my childhood, and born and raised in New Orleans, and then lived, early before Hurricane Katrina, look. You see this harassment? That third day in a row. It's you again. Oh no. And that's another taxi. Speaking of taxis, but I think she stay here. See, they act like as if they're pretending like they stay here. They act like as if they're pretending like they stay here because this is the fourth night in a row. Because the first night they had a white truck, and then this is the third night. See, the second two nights, he drove, like when the moment I come outside and put him on film, he went to go drive off. But today he gets out of his truck like as if he actually pretends like he lives here. But why would you drive off 2 nights in a row when I come outside and then you pull out and then you go drive off? So it made me feel like, oh, you don't stay here. But I don't know. That strange lady right there, like she been sitting here. But, she wasn't there the previous time I came outside. She wasn't here the previous time I came outside. So now they want to act like as if they freaking, well, I don't know if they stay here. But as I said, if you stay here, why would you drive off like other perps who don't live here? Why you beam your lights into my window and sit there, and then I go put you on film, and then you drive off like you scared. So now I'm confused. Now you want to act like you stay here. I was waiting for him because it's 7:55 right now. But and then somebody with a smack brand new YouTube account tried to talk about, when I said, well, why would a white man, start following and harass a black woman? And then the person want to try to say, oh, get on my case, my own race doesn't matter or whatever, and stuff like that. And I know, but my point is, if I be start followed and harassed by people of any race or gender. But the thing is, I was trying to make a point, because it's similar to what Alex would do. Him being a white male, and people want to talk about, oh, race doesn't matter. It's all, duh, I know that. But, but I'm saying, a man stalking and following, harassing a woman, but then women do it to me too. I know. So, and you know what? Earlier my headache was so bad that I almost couldn't even concentrate on fixing and preparing a tuna sandwich. That's how bad it was. And now they're putting pressure on the back of my head too. Like I have a headache with the front of my head and the back of my head. But see, that cab, that taxi cab stays here. But that's funny, I just got finished talking about cab. And then I go outside and here it's a cab. Not one of the major ones that I just mentioned. But, cabs. So, the fact that any taxi vehicle would come passing by, but that cab driver actually stays here. But but being a targeted individual trying to be a cab driver, they either won't hire you at all, or if they do hire you and they perp you and set you up in a bad working vehicle, and then set you up for the vehicle to break down, and then blame everything on you and say that you operated the vehicle incorrectly, or you did this or that wrong, or they'll blame you for the flat tires that been set up, like um and stuff like that, and leave you stranded, and other cab drivers plus the cab owners, if you stranded and the cab broke down because they set you up, then they leave you stranded and nobody want to help you, and then they get an attitude with you, and then you gotta shell out a whole lot more money that you don't, and then you end up being pretty much back to penniless and homeless, trying to survive a cab driving job. And that happened to me twice. So twice in New Orleans. But Z Trip has vehicles that's a lot newer, and so Z Trip won't hire me, and Lucky Cab won't hire me. They participate in gang stalking, and so you know, and so despite having a bachelor's degree and being overly sheltered throughout the years, or um, you know, being blacklisted and not being able to get a job for all these years, that's why I don't have really many skills. But as I said, people with narcissistic personalities will be nitpicky and overcritical about my writing. But people who are unbiased, or their minds aren't perverted about me, if their minds aren't tainted about me, then they'll tell me that they think that I'm a phenomenal writer, or I'm a very, very good writer. But they want to make like, oh, your short story sucks because you don't have a plot and you don't have character development and stuff like that. Well, I'm like, well, even if I was the best writer in the world, me being targeted, the purpose will still try to say you're a horrible writer because they want to shut you down because you're targeted. So I feel like I wanted to have my own blog and have my own writing rules, which is no writing rules, and just write freely with no conformity and no rules, because you know, and then me trying to survive and dealing with my brain being a certain way, my mind being a certain way because um, chronic sleep deprivation. So it's like, well, the idea of, it was even more torture to be forced to work the janitorial jobs and being like days of, like, be 4 days of sleep deprived and still working janitorial job. It sounds like I hear some people having a conversation on the side of this building, on this side. So it's hard. You can be a very great writer and be targeted, and trying to make a living, and the perps will say hateful things that are not genuine or authentic. They just want to say hateful things that's hurtful, and stuff that's manipulative and convincing enough that nobody will want to they'll make sure that nobody will want to support you. No, that's them outside. Okay, on the other side. Why does it sound so close to the to this wall. Yeah, but they're outside talking. um, so I don't know if that man is gonna. What's he gonna do now? Hold up. Yeah. So I mean, I wish I could ask for more help to stay here at this motel for another week, but you know, I didn't get any help at all. Not one penny of help this week. But thankfully I had you know enough to get to stay here for one more week. And so now I have $41.18 in the bank. And from what I calculated, um, it's kind of somewhat just barely enough for me to um, have enough money to get to take my stuff out of here and then go bring it to my storage unit and then have enough money to get back downtown. And then I would end up having no money at all, even no money to eat, no money for food or nothing. And then I would have to panhandle every single day and then have to get rained on. And another thing with me having to be on the streets, um, imagine being forced to wake up every single morning being attacked and eaten up by a whole bunch of ants when you're outside on the streets. And then they want to make sure that there's some light shining on you if you're trying to get privacy, trying to go pee in private and you can't go use the bathroom anywhere. And then it's like people want to have their cars set and parked in the exact spot where you try to go pee at. And so and I'm saying that the struggles and the suffering I have to deal with on the streets. And so it's like the online perps want to make sure that they try to make like as if I'm, because they're narcissistic enough to try to make it like, and sadistic enough that I deserve to be punished with suffering. And so they want to try to make it like they want to brainwash everybody and tell everybody don't feel any sympathy, don't feel any pity or sympathy for her, or don't try to feel sorry for her. And people listen. They obey those narcissistic perps who, try to force mental health on me. And the only roof over my head they will be glad to see me get. And that what they think is best for me is jail or the mental institution. So, but then they want to offer false promises of a better life, with the idea that they want me to become a perp. And so then, they want to try to be like, well, don't you want a better life? You see, he keeps on turning his lights off and on, off and on, off and on. His car, the truck lights. But it's amazing. He got out of his truck and ignored me and didn't tell me shit. Pizza Hut car. See, the truck is gone. The lady's gone. See, they're blurring my phone. They're blurring my phone on purpose. The lady's gone. The truck is gone. They pulled off. Those perps, they're still over there. So these perp people is, oh, that's the truck right there, going out. See what I mean? They come. They do not stay here. And they come and sit in these chairs like as if they legitimately stay here. They weren't here all day, and where y'all going that y'all pulling up? But they got this, street theater, fake gang stalking activity going on. And so what's this? The Pizza Hut car is playing some games over there. Yeah. So, yeah, this truck right here, I told you those people don't stay here. Because, if it's after 8 o'clock, you would have been in, you would be in for the night. But no, you bastards, you Masonic, narcissistic perp bastards, y'all don't stay here. So, I'm exhausted from talking so much. And as I said, my anxiety is really high. And I'm panicking and scared because feeling like, well, I don't know how to survive, or I don't know how I'm going to survive. And they said that hurricane season this year is going to be very bad and very active this year. Again, this year. They said about hurricane season. So, these perps want to give false offers for a better life. But I know that they want to make it like as if in order to get this better life, they want me to denounce Jesus Christ. And they want me to deny Jesus Christ and say yes to their cult. And I'm afraid that it would be very messed up if I said yes to their cult and then ended up worse than what I am now and still getting no money, no support, no nothing. And then people were really making like, well, you made this decision, Candy. You live with it. So nobody feels sorry for you. You're the one who sold your soul or something like that. So that's one of the other reasons why I don't trust selling my soul. I don't trust selling out. Because I think that people, whether I sell out or not, I think that them trying to get me to sell out, trickery and deception, and I'll end up feeling played. I'll end up feeling, being played. So, it's a hard fight and a struggle, for me to just, I'm fighting to stay strong against, it's like that, as I said, they keep on trying to act like they have the intent to act like they want to try to push me to suicide attempts, trying to push me to suicide or trying to push me to want to give up or make me feel put in a corner and try to make me feel like there's no hope. But, I'm trying, I keep trying to think about, the treasures in heaven, and in my heart, I want to be on Jesus Christ's side. I don't want to side with them. But it's like, who are they to act like they think they have the authority to bully and try to coerce me to going on their side? And so, I'm scared of anything demonic and satanic. Like, I'm scared. I'm scared of demons. I shouldn't be, because they say that Christians should have power and authority, over, anything demonic or satanic. And but I feel like I'm a weak Christian, like I'm not strong enough as a Christian like I should be. And and it's a lonely road here, trying to fight to stay strong, and and so it's like, it's funny how with me being at high risk for being, you know, for being back on the streets again, and then they have the perps sent Alex Mendez to me, the ex-boyfriend. They sent him to me, and then try to make it like as if I'm a loser for rejecting, the offer. It seemed like as if he wanted to objectify me like a whore or something. So, it would be dealing with a narcissistic perp for a boyfriend. That will ruin my mental health. So, I just don't. Other than me trying to write and then I'm getting, no support really. It's like I don't know how else I could survive. And like my mind is glitched up. Like I feel mentally crippled from the sleep deprivation that my mind can't function properly due to the chronic sleep deprivation. Me being sleep deprived. So those perps, they got their fix. Like the man in the silver truck, he got his fix. He knew I was filming him, but he didn't say nothing. Because I guess they know they don't stay here. Because that lady, where she come from? And then, with the blue truck not being there, it would be like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and that silver truck is not there. So that's how I know that they don't stay here and they come here just to, mess with me, or, part of the demonic campaign. I mean, the street theater or whatever. I don't know. Since being here, I've been getting a lot of street theater being here. Street theater skits. I've been getting a lot of street theater being here. But I don't know. But my mind ain't working properly right now. And I thought I was, maybe I'm probably going to write at least one or two more blog posts. But I mean, it's like bad enough. I mean, I'm just feeling bad that the professed TI community, they pretty much don't want anything to do with me anymore. But I understand that the majority of them have flipped and became perps, and they can hide behind Jesus and the Bible all they want. But, the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. And so they'll try to use God to frighten and scare me and stuff like that. And try to make like, oh, you on your way to hell. Trying to make like I'm the one who's on my way to hell. So the few targets left that are sincere and Christian is very difficult to find. And I have to deal with narcissistic abuse from them too. So it's like, where is I mean, I gotta be somebody. Or if they started off nice and then they start to slowly pull the rug of support away from me, or they start being very subtle with acting like a narcissistic perp and changing their opinion about me. And as I said, be the people who you least expect. Or they got other professed targeted individuals who act snobbish and stuck up, or they, or if they just mean spirited, and if they just mean spirited and hostile and belligerent and stuff like that. And they seem like they walk around with a bad attitude, like as if they're mad with the world. But people, if I make a mistake and be too trusting of people, then I get condemned for that. But then people think that I'm mean if I put my guard up and don't trust somebody who I know is a perp. I get called mean for like, how the hell if somebody called themselves gang stalker for hire and they offer you to come live with them, like if you if you have on your username gang stalker for hire, how or why should I trust you? Or how or why should I trust you if you drive by in a red car with one headlight and say, well, hey, I want to help you? And then y'all get mad when I reject those fake offers. And here I still am struggling. And it's like the only help I'm allowed to get is help from the satanic cult. And I get told that I deserve my punishment for rejecting help from the satanic occult people trying to get me to join, trying to get me in. And so, I'm trying to, as best as I can, to protect my soul. And I'm like, and as I said, some of these professed Christians, some of them are closet Satanists and front like they're Christian. And it's like, well, are they? I'm not saying there aren't any, but I'm just saying it's hard for me to find sincere Christians, or it's hard for me to find sincere targeted individuals. And some people are narcissistic enough to delusionally believe or lie and say that they're a good person or that they're to be trusted or they're honest or whatever. And come to find out, they'll lie just to bait you in. And I've seen some narcissistic perps online be all in the narcissistic victim community also. And I'll be saying to myself that they should get out of this chat room. If you're the narcissistic perp, and commenting on narcissistic abuse victim videos and stuff like that, or narcissistic abuse surviving videos. Like, get out of here. You're a damn narc. A narcissistic perp who has bullied me, and then you commenting like you've been a victim of narcissistic abuse. So I'm tired of running my mouth at the moment. It's just that for me I felt like I needed to release because I don't have nobody to talk to at the moment. So I felt the need to, here they come back again. I felt the need to, for me to talk out my feelings, hoping that would help me calm me down. Are y'all back? See, it just got a lot of harassment activity. And some perp over that side is wearing a red shirt over there that didn't wear a red shirt earlier. They got some activity going on over there. But yeah, as I said, I'm really, like, I guess I've been talking because I'm really feeling panicky and feeling anxiety about having to end up back on the streets next week. And with my disability, I have difficulty functioning around people or living around people or living with people, and I do best by myself because I can't be around noise. And so, they got people who want to worship watching TV or blasting loud music. I can't live around that. And I don't want to try to control your house and tell you what to do or how to live in your house, try to run your house. So, I'm trying to fight to get my own place to live and stuff like that, in a way of making a living and a job and stuff. I can't do work from home in this motel because we got Wi-Fi that's pretty good, but the work at home companies want a permanent address and hardwired internet. And like regular jobs, they want you with a car, and that's one thing. Me not having a car, a vehicle is another thing. Despite being blacklisted, me having a vehicle is another thing that's holding me back from getting a job opportunity because I don't have a car, but I certainly have a license. And I heard some people get success in life, via help from others, or if others will pull strings to put in a good word for you. But it seems like society, they try to say Candy is always negative, but they don't. If somebody asks their opinion or review about me, nobody has anything good to say about me, or nobody has anything positive to say about me. But people who've been criminals, multiple criminals, you'll try to say something like, "Oh, well, Joey is a good person, and Joey's a very good person. He just had a rough life, and he just did what he had to do in order to survive, and so he just made a wrong decision, made a few wrong decisions, or went down the wrong path. But he's still a good person." Nah, not the fact that this Joey person, is a multi-time criminal and committed like almost every crime in the book. And y'all still want to say Joey's a good person. But Candy is Candy is always negative. Candy burns her bridges from the people who are trying to help her. Candy doesn't want help. No, the help that y'all trying to get is, the help that y'all want to offer is for me to be locked up in a mental, put away from society, locked up in jail or the mental institution or in a coffin, or for my soul to be robbed from me. That's the only options of fake help that y'all want to give me. I mean, y'all don't want to just leave me in peace and let me just get another job and get my own place to live, and possibly a vehicle, and stuff like that. It's like y'all deliberately, fight tooth and nail to block me. The fact that y'all act like as if y'all want to try to make it such a struggle that y'all want to make it like as if I got to be expected to sell my soul or sell out for a part-time minimum wage dishwashing job.